Hey, it's Al. Back again today to share with you another MS-DOS creation. This time, a platformer. I've been working on this for about, on and off for about 4 months. It's far from complete. Most of the game physics are implemented. Most of what's left is just level design and some accoutrements like intro screen and joystick calibration. Right now I'm playing this with an iBuffalo Super NES style controller, USB, on my little DOSBox machine here. But enough about all that technical mumbo jumbo, let's give it a go. This is called Squiggs. Squiggs is this little fellow you see down here in the lower left hand corner. He's kind of a snake, salamander, slug, naga type little thing. It's cuter than it sounds, I think. But anyway, so what you got here is a very bare bones, no nonsense, very slimmed down, almost kind of looks like Atari 2600 style platform here. And you've got different types of platforms. There's some bugs still to be worked out, but you've got sideways striding enemies, and you've got platforms that you can jump upward through and platforms that you can't. And they vary from level to level what you can and can't do, and you just have to work it out by trial and error, I suppose. But some of the things that can happen are, oh, I got hit, and once I stop blinking, you'll see I'm a darker shade of green. Easily remedied, though. There's a cherry, power cherry, and I'm bright again. If you get hit while you're dark green, oops, respawn, and I'm back to, well, I was at the beginning anyway. So let's try and actually get somewhere here. Hopping up these are supposed to be trees. As you can see from the title of this level, this little area here is called Unsuspecting Acres. It's supposed to look like an outdoor park or maybe a woodsy area. You have to use your imagination a little bit, folks. But Unsuspecting Acres is literally just this one screen. After I move on by going into the mouth of the cave here, I find myself in a modest mouth. I don't know, it was off the top of my head. This is the mouth of a very large cavern that will end up being most of the game. And Modest Mouth is made up of more than just this one screen. It's made up of several, well, we're going to go through all of them today. There's maybe about 9, I think, altogether. And what's this? It's a spiny ball. Ouch. Let's charge back up. And most things will respawn after you enter another screen and then go back in, as you can see here. Except now I can't pick up the cherry because I'm already bright green. I'm already in the high energy mode, I suppose you would call it. There's an up and down kind of ghostly looking thing that you have to avoid. Another side to side strider. Now here we have some disappearing, reappearing platforms. You've probably seen things like this before in old second generation, third generation platform games. They're usually a menace. I tried to not make them too sadistic. But anyway, so we find ourselves at the bottom of the screen here, and can I go down there? Well, obviously there's got to be somewhere to go, so here I am deep in the deepest depths, almost, not really, of the Modest Mouth, and now there are multiple different paths. There's one up here, there's one down here, and there's an item down there. What does it do? Well, we just don't know yet, and you can't get to it because you can't jump down through a platform. You can only jump up through certain ones, and not even all platforms. So let's go over here. Oh, what do we have here? We have 2 enemies and what looks to be an entrance over there on the right hand side. So I'm going to try and sprint across this. Nope, didn't make it. I'm going to try one more time, see if I jump at the end, if I can get across it. And these lines, when there are platforms that are spaced very closely together, they'll just pop you up onto another one. So it's kind of a neat little, almost an escalator effect there going on. Now, let's see if I can make this happen. Spoiler alert, I can't. You can't jump over there, you're not fast enough. So this is obviously not where we're supposed to be right now. So going back, moving along. Now we got an entrance down here. Yeah. That is a lurker. And I made it a little bit scarier than I originally intended to, and there I got hit. Look at it. It's feisty. It hungers. Oh boy. So I actually could get past that fairly easily, but I have more to show you. I'm going to go up here. And I didn't explain it earlier, but this little red flag here is a check mark. You might have seen when I picked it up earlier, a password appeared. That's a very simple, straightforward, seemingly random 7-digit number. If you know the password, you can enter it at any time and it takes you to its corresponding location. Like, for instance, if I were to die, and I'm back here, but you don't have to die to use the password. You could go hit the P button, 834047, enter, and there you are. It's all in the discovering them. That's where the fun is. Now here I've got some crazier disappearing, reappearing platforms, and I actually made this part way too hard. It was actually even more difficult than it is now originally, till I tweaked it a bit so that the timing would be more forgiving, but hey, I got over here on the first try. Here's an item. What's that? It looks like a napkin with 2 little eyes. This is a ghosty nap. It's like a moisty nap, except it turns you into a ghost. Now what's that for? Well, it lets you do things like this. When you hold down the jump button, you do a very slow descent. And that can be very useful when negotiating certain platforming problems. So, let's descend down here. This look familiar? Ha ha ha, sucker. And you don't really need it to go through this part. You can hop down there pretty easily. But here we have a new feature of the game, the hidden platforms that only appear when you touch them. And these can be to troll you, or they can be to help you. You can imagine a lot of leap of faith type scenarios that would involve this sort of platform. So now I just gotta drop down here. There's a cherry. I don't need it because I'm powered up. When you get one of these special power-ups and you get hit, which I'm gonna do right now. Oh! See? That hidden platform kinda screwed me there right now. Yeah, I got hit, but I'm still in high energy mode, the bright green, so I cannot pick up the cherry. One thing I plan to change is that these items will be rendered behind you when you stand in front of them, like these pillar tops here, or column tops. You can see that that's not a good example, but right now I have them to render over top of the player. I thought that was a good idea at first for some reason. Now it kind of looks stupid, as you'll see later on in the game. But moving right along. Oh, saved by the hidden platform. Yeah, that should mean... Now you can see, at places in this game, the levels will hint at what to expect. Like, I wouldn't have had these platforms, positioned over random hazards if I expected you to get through them without some semblance of logic. I mean, some places there will be a lot of mystery and intrigue, but other places I want the game to be straightforward and not have to worry too much about being reliant on trial and error to figure things out. I want you to be able to, mentally stimulate yourself when you play this. Maybe I'm getting a little too deep into it. Go, Squiggs, go! What's down here? Ah! We have another one of these things. They're a pest. But now I got a little item that made me a bright yellow. What does that do? This. Ah! Owned. So, this is a dead-end room, but it's a room where you can experiment. Again, you don't really need this, I call this the static charge. Boing! Baddie, go bye-bye. And then, to get back out of here, you just hop up to this ladder thing, and remember what I said about lines spaced close to each other? I always have so much fun with that. It kind of reminds me of Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song, ah, don't quit your day job, I know. Okay, moving on. So, you might see these disappearing, reappearing platforms have kind of a funnel shape to them, just to make it a little extra challenging. It's not too bad. I can usually do that on my first try, unlike that other room where I got the ghosty nap. There was a time when I could only get that maybe 1 out of 10 times I tried. Now here we are, what? You recognize this room. This is where we first dropped down into the cavern when it really got deep. And here we are, face to face with that little blue thing, which I can now pick up. What does it do? Zing! It greatly increases your speed. Actually, it about doubles it. I think it changes you from maxing out at 4 pixels per frame to about 10 pixels per frame. And it is coded blue because blue is the color of daylight, and the daytime always goes by too fast, in my opinion. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly why I chose that color. So now can I do it? Well, yes! And sometimes I try that and I still miss it just by an inch. So maybe that'll require some further tweaking. What do we got after this? Well, okay, I'll show you. Yeah. Now we're at the dreaded evil lair of the final level. No, this isn't the final level, not by far. This is actually kind of, in a way, the very beginning of the game. As you can see, the title of the level has changed. We're now out of the modest mouth and into the pocket full of garnet. And this is kind of like a gem mine, where it's really getting dark and some crazy things will happen. I don't want to give too much away because it's still kind of early in the development. I still have some changes to make, and it's far from over. As far as level design goes, this is maybe about 20% into just the demo, and yes, this is only a demo right now. Go back to here just for funsies. I'm planning on having at least 5 times as much content in the demo, and the demo will be one standalone DOS executable without any supporting files that you need to have along with it. And then if I ever make a full version, I plan on that being anywhere from 10 to 64 times larger than the demo. So realistically, this is not even 1% of what I have planned for this game. Right now, I'm all just having fun. I'm playing this in DOSBox. I plan on testing this out on actual MS-DOS, retro, maybe a 486, some kind of hardware architecture like that, But other than that, this is Squiggs, and I plan on posting more videos of this in the future, depending on how things go. So stay tuned, stay in smoke, and don't school.